Please remain standing while the Madison Police Department Honor Guard presents the flags. DSU student Cheryl Unterbrunner will lead in the singing of our national anthem. Please be seated. As president of Dakota State University, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this fall 2008 commencement. This is, for most people, a pretty hectic time of the year, with lots of preparations and activities associated with the holiday season. I hope that this commencement ceremony will give you a chance to pause, reflect, and celebrate the accomplishments of this group of men and women who will graduate today. It is not only a celebration of their accomplishments, it is also a recognition of persistence, determination, and a level of academic attainment only demonstrated by a limited number of individuals in our society. A few weeks ago, we held our fall semester all-campus convocation here at DSU, and Dr. Tad Perry, the Executive Director of the Board of Regents here in South Dakota, provided the convocation address. He spoke of the values of a college degree and provided graphs and data validating the many advantages a college graduate has in this world. Obviously, the lifetime earning power of college graduates far exceeds those without a diploma. That is a fact that may be of some support to families and parents in the audience. But it also means that they have an average life expectancy is higher, and that general life satisfaction indicators are better. And while these are important reasons for celebrating the completion of these degrees, for me the most important celebration is the one that each of you will understand individually. Have you learned and incorporated this learning in your life? Have you made friends? Have you developed lasting relationships with mentors and faculty? Have you really grasped and infused the technology you have utilized here at DSU to make your own lives more productive? Have you learned to be more thoughtful and constructively critical? Have you developed the ability to appreciate the diversity of people and thoughts that will confront you when you leave here? Have you become a different and better person for having spent your time at this university. You have been here for most of the part through the time that I have been president of this institution. Some things have changed at DSU while you have been here, and they will continue to change because this is, in fact, a very dynamic university, a university that leads the state and the region in our efforts to embrace and analyze the information-rich world that we live in. You have been a part of one of the most innovative colleges in the country, and my last hope is that all of you have developed the attitude, the skills, and the fortitude to be a leader in this world of unending transformations. This is my first opportunity to say congratulations to you. It will not be my last this morning. I am so pleased to have honored guests with us on the stage today, including our Board of Regents Representative Regent Randy Morris, Jim Graham, President of the Alumni Association, and Lieutenant Colonel Pete Nielsen of the Air Force ROTC. They will be formally introduced later. Also in the audience, I understand, is State Senator Russ Olson. Russ, if you're with us, would you stand to be recognized? Thanks, Russ, for being here. Now, I am really particularly pleased and honored to welcome our speaker today. Mr. Wade Pogany is the Director of Curriculum and Instruction for the South Dakota Department of Education. DSU has been involved in a visionary and exciting partnership with the Department of Education through the Classroom Connections project. In his position with the Department of Education, Mr. Pogany has played a key role in implementing the Governor's 2010 Education Initiative, which guides the educational framework of this state. He has led the creation and implementation of the Classroom Connections program, a 3-year program that has placed mobile computing devices, otherwise known as laptop computers, in the hands of 30% of the state's high school students, grades 9 through 12, and 1,000 teachers in our state. He understands the power, the potential, and the challenges of this new approach to teaching and learning. Mr. Pogany has been with the Department of Education for 8 years. In his earlier career, he taught speech, debate, and language arts for 11 years and served as principal at Watertown High School for 6 years. Mr. Pogany earned a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Master's degree in Educational Administration from USD and a Master of Arts from SDSU. He is currently a doctoral candidate at USD. I think to get us on the list, we'll have to give him an honorary degree at some point in the future, right, Wade? He and his wife Karen have 2 daughters, Sarah and Jennifer, and they reside in Pierre. Please welcome our commencement speaker, Mr. Wade Pogany.
Thank you, Dr. Knowlton, and members of this distinguished faculty and students. It is truly an honor, an humbling honor, for me to be here today, a South Dakota boy raised in the state all my life, and to be with you, South Dakotans, in celebrating this day. Dr. Knowlton, I want you to know that I'm truly honored to be here to address this very distinguished institution. And as I prepared my remarks, I wanted to think of something that would be witty and humorous, and really struggled with that. So I got online and I typed in University Presidents and Humor and clicked enter. And I waited. And nothing came back. I don't know. There are probably a lot of funny things about university presidents. It just wasn't online yet. But graduates, you made it. This is your day, and it's a wonderful day. It's a special day. Those long hours of study, those long hours of writing papers and tests, and the anxiety are over, at least until you find employment, and then it starts all over again. But you have a wonderful place to graduate from, Dakota State University, and I know that because I've worked with many of your faculty. I've worked with your administrators, I've worked with your faculty members, and they're a great group. They're a hard-working group of people, very knowledgeable, very distinguished. And I think it's important to always, whenever you can, to say thank you. Graduates, would you help me by applause, thanking your administrators, thanking your faculty members that are here with you today, and all the support staff that make this wonderful college what it is. Help me thank them. This is a huge chapter in your life, and as this one comes to an end, another one will begin. You can label this one the DSU experience, and I know it's been a great experience. As you leave these halls, there's a voice inside you that is probably asking a lot of questions. What do I do with my life now? Where do I find a job? And when does the party start? The first two questions I'm not going to answer. Those are questions for you, and the last one you already know where the party is, so I won't address that one. But I would like to pose two other questions to you that I think will take you and I a lifetime to answer. I'm not going to talk today about my job and curriculum and instruction and learning and all those wonderful things that I do. I'm not going to talk about laptops. I'm going to talk about a couple things that I think are critically more important than all those things that we do in our careers. I want to pose two questions for you. The first one is, I want you to ask yourself the question, as I leave here today, what will become the most important things in my life? What will become the most important things in my life? And secondly, how will I know if they're truly important? How will I know if they're truly important? The first one, what will become important? And let me just share what's important to me. You spent your entire last career in this school trying to achieve A's and B's, the academics of A's and B's. And today on your final day, I'm going to give you 3 F's. But they're not academic F's. I think they're F's to live by. And I strongly believe that of all the things that we do and the things that I do in my life, the 3 most important things to me are faith, family, and friends. If you leave nothing else today and remember nothing else today, remember those 3 F's, because I think they're the most important things in our lives. The first question, how will we know, or what is the most important, I think starts with family. And on this special occasion, there are a lot of people here that are so proud of you and the things that you've done. It's really important that at some point today, you step up to that individual, that mom or that dad or grandparent or whoever they might be to here support you, and just say thanks. Because they're so proud of you, and they're here supporting you. They've supported you, and they'll be there always. To me, family is one of the most important things. Nothing is more precious in my life than my wife and my 2 daughters, the most special things in the world. And someone asked me one time, Wade, what's the best day that you could spend in your life? And to me, that was the easiest question to answer. To me, the best day of my life is to be on our boat on Lake Oahe, north of Pier, and spending the whole day with my wife Karen and my 2 daughters, Jennifer and Sarah. Just spending time with my family, boating and skiing and tubing and enjoying the sun, but just the time. And I think the most important gift that I can give them is time. And I think that's true of all family members. Keep your family close. I can't tell you how important they are. They make your life journey truly rewarding. During the good times, you'll have someone to celebrate with, like today. And during the tough times, you'll have someone there for advice and comfort and love. I remember a couple years ago when my mother-in-law struggled with heart surgery, 4 quadruple bypass surgery, and she made it, and she's alive today. And we just celebrated Thanksgiving at her house for the first time in many, many years. But what's most important is that we rallied around her to help her through those times. And when my brother struggled, and I was there to help him, I think God put me on this earth to be a brother and to help him. And so it's that family tie, I think, that's critically important. That's the first F. The second one is friends. In addition to your family, they are the support that you need, the enjoyment that you receive, and the love that you'll always get from them. Good friends, really loyal, true friends, are like diamonds. I've learned in my ability to travel this state and this country, I've met all different kinds of people, wonderful, wonderful people. But I really only have a couple of really close friends, people that you can talk to, people that you can pour your soul out to. One of them is my wife. And if you can go through your life, and if you can someday find 1 or 2 truly good friends, a couple of diamonds, hang on to them because they are the most important thing in your life. The third F is faith. I've come to realize later in my life that my successes are not of my doing. I give the good Lord credit for all that I am and all that I've done, and I ask Him to show me every day what He wants me to do for Him. It's your faith that carries you through those good times, and it's your faith that carries you through the bad times. Tony Dungy is head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Very successful coach, has won a Super Bowl. And he wrote a book a couple years ago called Quiet Strength. If you haven't read it, it's an easy read. It's a wonderful book. And it talks about his most important things in life. And he uses football as a metaphor for those three things: faith, family, and friends. He's also been through tragedy. His son died. And at his funeral, he spoke at his own son's funeral, and he said these words. He said, "Faith is what keeps our family going. It's what we believe. And we believe God when he says that he works all things for good. Faith is what's important." The second question: how do you know what's truly important? When all those things hit you, your careers, your decisions, your families, and all those things hit you, how do you know when they're truly important and which ones are the most important? Well, I believe that each of us today has this voice inside of us that's talking to us all the time. Do you hear it? Yeah, some of you are wondering, that voice is saying, when's this guy going to quit? But that's not the voice I'm talking about in this. It's the voice that tells you when things are important. It's that voice that you can hear all the time. Some people call it their conscience. Others call it faith, intuition. Some people call it indigestion. But whatever you call it, it's that voice that's constantly talking to you. And sometimes it's subtle, and other times it's pretty loud. I remember the day when I married Karen. And that day I stood in front of the altar, and how nervous I was. And that inner voice was talking to me the whole time, saying, this is important. This is very important. The day when my daughter was born, and I stood in that delivery room and I held her for the first time, that inner voice told me, this is what's important. In my early years as a teacher and a debate coach, I spent a lot of time with my students, and I thought that was important, and it was. And I was a debate coach for 11 years, and we were very competitive. Our students worked very hard. We spent many, many long hours in the debate room and spent many, many weekends, 18 plus, traveling around Minnesota and Iowa, and we were competitive and we were good. But there was an inner voice that was in me that was saying, you also have a very young family at home. Don't forget about them. And that voice in me began to get louder and louder over time. And after about 11 years, I woke up one morning and said, I really don't know my family very well. And it was important to me that I made sure that that didn't happen. I gave up coaching that year, and I never regretted that decision. My life's journey has taken me other places, and they've been wonderful because I've been blessed. But I know, and I knew that morning, what was important. Never confuse making a living with making a life. No one on their deathbed regrets not getting the promotion. No one on their deathbed asks for that last report and to see that it was completed. We ask for our family, we ask for our friends, and we ask for our God. How many times has your inner voice told you to do something and you've ignored it, only to find out later that it was a mistake, and you tell yourself, I should have listened to myself? How many times has that happened? Your inner voice is there as your guide. It's the guide through your life journey. And sometimes the promptings are subtle, pay the bills or make that call. And other times they're more insistent. They might last for days or weeks or even years. It's important we listen to it and that we understand it and know what it is. When faith, family, and friends cross my radar screen, my inner voice is always talking to me. I can remember my graduation speakers as well. But honestly, I can't tell you everything they said. And a few years from now, maybe a few minutes from now, you may not remember this guy who stood up in front of you and talked to you today. But I hope you remember the message that your inner voice is telling you what's important all the time. At some point in your life, you may stand in front of the altar and take a spouse. And I hope you remember to always put your family first. You'll find a job, and you'll work, you'll make money, it'll be rewarding, and you'll be successful. But I hope your inner voice reminds you that someone, somewhere in your past, told you that your family was important. At some point in your life, I hope you come to know the true meaning of friendship. When those friends ask you to be in their wedding, or they ask you for support and help. I hope that inner voice reminds you that someone, somewhere in your life, told you that friends were important and that you need to give them some time. Graduates, at some point in your life, I hope you come to know God. And I pray that your inner voice reminds you that someone somewhere told you that your faith was one of the most important things you can hold on to. So each time you hear that inner voice talking, each time you hear it in your head, listen to it. It's telling you something's important. God bless you, Dakota State graduates, and congratulations.
Thank you, Wade, for agreeing to travel here today and for sharing your thoughts. Although I have to tell you that my inner voice kept saying, think of a joke to tell, think of a joke to tell, so that I could prove that there is a sense of humor in some presidents. I'm going to get a whole list of jokes for my next commencement speech. I'm extremely pleased now to introduce the Dakota State University Concert Band under the direction of Dennis Haig to perform a piece titled Fiera Winds by Ed Huckabee.
Thank you to the members of the band for your entertainment today. I'm Cecilia Whitmire. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs at DSU, and it is my pleasure to call upon a member of the graduating class, Kendra Vaughn Hoffman, to speak to us today on behalf of the graduates. Kendra, could you please come forward? Kendra is a native of Corsica, South Dakota. She is graduating summa cum laude with a composite degree in elementary education and special learning and behavioral problems. She recently completed her student teaching assignments at Ann Sullivan Elementary School, Rosa Parks Elementary School, and Roosevelt High School in Sioux Falls. During her university career, Kendra served in several leadership responsibilities, including president of the student chapter of SDEA, vice president of InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. She's also a member of the Council for Exceptional Children, Kappa Sigma Iota, which is our honor society, and she has served as a resident hall assistant and as a tutor. The results of her student research project were presented to legislators last February in the Capitol Rotunda as part of the poster session that the governor sponsors. Please help me in welcoming Kendra Vaughn Hoffman.
Good morning. On behalf of Dakota State University's graduating class of 2008, I want to welcome family, friends, and faculty to this year's commencement ceremonies. As I think back to my freshman year, I remember the feelings of fear, anxiety, and excitement. I was afraid to have to make friends in a place where I did not know anyone, anxious to see if my hard work and prior knowledge would carry me through this new experience, and excited to take the next big step in my life. Today I have those same mixed feelings as I know I'm ready to take the next big step. For those of you who know me fairly well, you may know how much I love to bake. You also probably know that I tend not to use a recipe. Every time I make a recipe, I ask myself, what can I change next time that would make this even better? Realizing that sometimes there's no hope and I just need to start over. As I stand before you today, I want to share what I believe will be a recipe to success that you can take with you as you walk out of here, a graduate of Dakota State University. But I want you to take this recipe and individualize it, making it your own, by adding some more of some things and less of others. So here's what my recipe would look like. And this actually goes along with what we already heard about the 3 F's, so you're going to get a double dose today. I'd start with 3 cups of faith. Faith in God, who can bring us through any trial. Faith in family and friends, who build us up and encourage us along our journey. And faith in ourselves, that we can make a difference. 3 cups of knowledge. Knowledge that we have gained from DSU, knowledge that we have gained from past experiences, and knowledge that we will continually strive to gain throughout the rest of our lives. 3 cups of hard work. Working on building relationships, working with the skills and knowledge we have gained from DSU, and working on setting ourselves apart by doing our best, even when no one is watching. 1 cup of forgiveness. Forgiving others when they let us down or unintentionally hurt us, remembering that we ourselves have faults too. 1/2 cup of joy. Finding the joy in the small pleasures of life, embracing the joy of others, and being a source of joy ourselves. 1 tablespoon of laughter. I can see some of you out there trying to figure out if that's the big spoon or the little one. It's the big one. We need laughter to remember that life is short and we are only human. Sometimes it's okay to laugh at our mistakes as we learn from them. 2 tablespoons of persistence. I believe that everyone already has this, considering we're sitting here today. Now, however, we must decide what to pursue next, carefully deciphering which causes are worthy of pursuit. 3/4 cup of wisdom. Wisdom to learn from our mistakes, wisdom to weigh decisions carefully, and wisdom to know when we need to ask for a little bit of help. In your life, combine faith, knowledge, hard work, forgiveness, joy, laughter, persistence, and wisdom. Then press them into your individualized mold, give it a try, and make the changes that you need to be successful. I know it sounds cliche, but we truly can have an impact on those around us, our community, and even our world. I want to leave you with the challenge of developing your own recipe for success, or maybe of you who didn't do so good in home ec, you can make a playbook. Just remember that everything you do is a choice, and every choice affects you and those around you. So as you leave here today, be determined to make choices that will better yourself and others. Thank you.
Thank you, Kendra. Dakota State has had a partnership with the Air Force ROTC program at SDSU for several years. It is my pleasure now to welcome to the platform today Lieutenant Colonel Pete Nielsen, who serves as commander of Detachment 780 at SDSU.
Good morning. President Knowlton, distinguished guests, graduates, faculty, and friends. It is my distinct honor that I present to you a graduate who has fulfilled the requirements of the United States Air Force Reserve Officer Training Course program, who will later this afternoon receive a commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Would the following individual please stand and remain standing? Cadet Lee, otherwise known as Chuck Payne. Cadet Payne has received a Space and Missile Operations slot and will be attending undergraduate space and missile training at Vandenberg Air Force Base, California. He will be leaving in January. Please join me in congratulating and thanking this outstanding young American who has answered our nation's call to serve as an officer in the United States Air Force. Thank you.
Without a doubt, the quality of education on any campus depends on the faculty, and Dakota State University is particularly blessed to have a faculty who are recognized widely for their innovation and their willingness to take on new challenges. They are also a faculty who care deeply about their students and the quality of education they experience. I now ask the current faculty here today to please stand and be acknowledged by all present for all the support they provide to students during this educational process and for the dedication they bring to their teaching. Please stand. Degrees are authorized by the South Dakota Board of Regents. We are pleased that Regent Randy Morris of Spearfish was able to join us to authorize these degrees. Regent Morris, the faculty of Dakota State University have determined that these candidates comprising the 125th graduating class have or will complete all the requirements for the degree indicated. I am pleased to concur in the recommendation of the faculty and present these candidates to the Board of Regents for the awarding of degrees.
Thank you, President Knowlton. And thank you on behalf, or welcome on behalf of all of the Board of Regents. We want to do a special welcome for the fathers, sons, mothers, and daughters of the graduates. What a wonderful, wonderful day. I salute President Knowlton, the faculty, administration, and all of the people that helped it make it possible that you would be here on this day reaching the goal of graduation. And now what I'll do is I'll try to follow the advice that President Knowlton gave me. As we were out there getting ready, he pulled me aside and he says, Regent Morris, I want you to view yourself as a body at an Irish wake. And I said, what? He says, we got to have you for the party, but we don't want you to say very much. So I'll try and listen to that. Let me address the students. So students, let me guess. I'll bet you never had times where you had to juggle between work, family, friends, scramble for money, had nights you thought you would not make it, cramming till 2 a.m., or taking a class where you just didn't get it, self-confidence in the toilet, sweating bullets. Well, grads, it's over. You made it. You done good. Let's give them a hand. Now, as we go along, let me tell you maybe a couple things that you're going to realize that you're not in college anymore. You know, and the first one is going to be at the end of the month when the credit card bill comes. You're going to probably have to pay it with your own money. April 15th rolls around. Yeah, Uncle Sam's going to take some of yours too. But the biggest thing is when you open your fridge, you're going to find that there's more food than beer in it, and then you know you're out of college. So, and in closing and trying to be short, I really want to give you some advice as you go out into the world, if you don't have a job yet or whatever, but as you go down, and the first piece of advice is never pierce anything that you cannot cover up in an interview. That's not a good deal. And never pay off your MasterCard with your Visa card. You're in trouble then. And my last and probably best piece of advice that I can give is right now your family, friends, and relatives are extremely proud of you. You can't imagine the sense of relief they're feeling. Trust me, it's your last best time to ask for money, so do it. And now, by the authority vested in me by the Constitution of the State of South Dakota, I hereby delegate to President Knowlton the right to confer degrees and diplomas. Thank you.
Well, presidents may not have a sense of humor, but clearly regents do have a sense of humor. I wish I had told him that joke, actually. I now call upon several individuals to assist me with the awarding of the diplomas. I ask that these persons rise and be recognized. Dr. Cecilia Whitmire, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Omar L. Gayar, Dean of Graduate Studies and Research, Dr. Carrie Forbes Boyd, Dean, College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Tom Halverson, Dean, College of Business and Information Systems, Dr. Judy Dittman, Dean, College of Education, Dr. Mark Hawks, Graduate Program Coordinator for the College of Education, Ms. Sandy Anderson, Registrar, Ms. Jennifer Meese, Graduate Programs Assistant, and Student Marshals Mary Ellis and Justin Hubrock. The Registrar and Graduate Programs Assistant, will you please bring the graduates forward to receive their diplomas.
Will the candidates for the Master of Science and Master of Science in Education degrees please rise and come forward? In the College of Business and Information Systems, Master of Science in Information Assurance, Christopher John Beck. In the College of Business and Information Systems, Master of Science in Information Systems, Patty Jo Brooks. Sairam Chaturi. Catherine Anine Thomas Christensen. Stephen Clute. Indrani Camaretti. Vanil Vamula. In the College of Education, Master of Science in Education and Educational Technology, Sherlyn K. Christensen. Lori B. Fox. Deborah K. Fredrickson. Cynthia L. Hansen. Lori Ann May. Lori L. Rook. Jennifer Ann Sampica. Robert Allen Herschel Treewatha. Linda Ann Turner.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from Dakota State University please rise and come forward? For the College of Arts and Sciences, Melanie Lynn Argo. Casey Brown. Todd James Knutson, magna cum laude. Amanda Miller. Eric Miner. Sarah K. Mishka. Ryan L. Paulson. Abby Marie Rotter. Beth L. Schaefer. Chanda Mary Ann Simmonsma. Scott Allen Sonny, cum laude. Nicole Eve Wiesner. For the College of Business and Information Systems, Bradley Daniel Bindert. Joshua D. Bosma, cum laude. Jacob Eugene Bramer. Gabrielle L. Cox. Holly Ann Drake. Usman bin Farouk. Mark Allen Fegan. Skylar G. Gallimore, cum laude. Dustin Michael Havlick. Joseph James Henderson. Carrie L. Herding. Darren Kyle Indahl. Brock Allen Kreitzfeld. Matthew D. Larson. Chelsea D. Lee. Jeffrey Stephen McNeely. William Delmer Robert Sorrell Philman. Zachary E. Schneider. Derek Anthony Simonson. Patrick J. Spielman. Tony Stoic. Kyle Ray Stabner, cum laude. Trevor R. Strobel, magna cum laude. For the College of Education, Kendra J. Bon Hoffman, summa cum laude. Jessica Sue Beckert. Abby Marie Behrens, magna cum laude. Megan Deaver, cum laude. Amanda Renee England. Mallory Evans, magna cum laude. Amanda K. Frazier. Jennifer Lee Haler. Crystal K. Heeb, magna cum laude. Nicole Hoyton, cum laude. Jennifer Hove. Adam Correll. Jason William Cramp. Nicole Lynn Lingeman, magna cum laude. Michael Mogard. Joshua David Morovitz, cum laude. Lee Charles Albert Payne, magna cum laude. Danielle Ann Rozier. William Leonard Schiefen. Catherine Lee Sunderman, magna cum laude. Will the candidates for the associate degree from Dakota State University please rise and come forward? For the College of Arts and Sciences, Kathy M. Chow. Candace Ebson. Megan E. Sternquist. Marissa Nussbaum.
Will all the graduates please rise? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon each of you the degrees to which you are entitled and with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. You may move your tassels. Please be seated. Members of the Dakota State University Fall Graduating Class, we are proud of all your accomplishments. And I congratulate you one more time on the work, the determination, and all of the learning that took place as part of your educational experience here. One more time, I invite parents, family, friends, and members of the faculty and honor class to join me in applauding your success. It is now my pleasure to call upon Mr. Jim Graham, who currently serves as president of Dakota State University Alumni Association, to welcome our graduates as alumni of the university.
Welcome. Now, as you can see from your programs, we're at the very bottom of the front page with the last speaker on stage up here talking, so finally the end is near. But congratulations on your accomplishment of attaining your degree, and welcome to the Dakota State University Alumni Association. You are joining a group of more than 11,000 proud alumni. We are all eager to meet you and extend our hand of welcome. As you attain your various career and personal goals, please let Dakota State University Alumni Association know about your accomplishments. I would also like to invite you to take part in one of the many events the Alumni Association has to offer. We want you to stay connected with Dakota State. DSU will always be a proud part of you, so please stay in touch and even get involved with many of the events that we offer. Once again, welcome to the Dakota State University Alumni Association.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, and the students of Dakota State University, I want to thank you for attending this fall commencement of Dakota State. Again, my congratulations to the graduates and my best wishes for all of your future plans. Because we are hosting basketball games here in just a few hours, I would ask that when we leave here, we do it in somewhat an orderly and prompt way. So we usually invite you to sort of linger if you'd like to at the gym, but we're going to ask you to get out as quick as you can. Now, I'm trying to say this as gently as I can. We have a number of people who have to move into the gymnasium to get it ready for basketball shortly. We invite you to join your graduate and the faculty at Dakota State at Dakota Prairie Playhouse, which is right across the street, for punch, coffee, and cake in recognition of today's graduates. Graduates of DSU, you have joined the thousands of DSU alumni who have crossed this stage before you. Many of those alumni are in the audience today in support of you and your accomplishments. I ask any DSU alumni who are present with us today to please stand and be recognized and remain standing. Any alumni from Dakota State, please stand. I would now ask our graduates and the newest alumni of DSU to stand and join them to conclude this commencement. Please stand. To conclude today's ceremony, we ask that the entire audience rise for the singing of the alma mater, led by Cheryl Unterbrunner. The words are found in the back of your program. Please remain standing through the retiring of the colors.